Hello everybody, Yukiro is back with another video. Again, it is Old School Sunday. As you may have noticed, I am now donning a N7 hoodie. My shoes are the Renegade. I did try and make Paragon ones, because I usually play Paragon, but the shoes kind of... You can't do the shoes separately. So the right one will look right, but the left one will be inversed. So it doesn't look like a wing like it should. So I ended up having to put the Renegade, because at least a star is going to look like a star, no matter which, which way it is. So yeah, I did put this up on my Coffee page. It's like £1, so if you wanted to support me and also wear this lovely outfit, you totally can now, for anyone who is accustomed to Vroid. So it's there for anyone who wants it, basically. I didn't want to put the price up too much, because it is just an N7 hoodie. It's like, my artistic skills are not greatest, so I didn't want to overcharge for it or anything. Let's zoom in on the things before we start playing. Let's do our shoes first. So it's not the best of quality, but it looks semi-right. And then the jeans are just the jeans. I do not have socks, apparently. I kind of forgot the socks, but don't worry about that. We want to move over this way, so then we are not in the way. But yeah, I had fun making this. It didn't take me too long. I just had to remember which side the stripe was on. I think it's actually on the other side. At least on my hoodie, so I think it's on the left. Could be on the right. I can't remember. I could just get up and have a look, but I'm lazy. Anyway, am I going to be in the way here? I shouldn't be. I might be covering a little bit too much still, but let me... There, that's better. Hopefully we'll be able to beat our score. I don't know if it's saved. I hope it's saved. Because we managed to get quite a high score. It wasn't highest of high, but it was still high. We'll continue playing. Yeah, okay. It's gotten rid of our high score, but that's okay. We can start again. It's not that big of a deal. But hopefully everyone has been okay. I've been fine. I will be doing overtime in work next couple of weeks, so I will not be able to stream on Thursdays, just so you all know. I will still try and stream, I just don't know when it'll be, because obviously I'm doing extra shifts, so streams might not happen for the next 2 weeks, so they might happen. We'll have to wait and see if I can get another day of streaming. But I think someone's on holiday. I'm not entirely sure why I've been given overtime, but I think someone's on holiday. That's usually why I end up with extra hours. But it's all good. Oh no, I didn't want to go there, I wanted to go down there. Oops. yeah, if I can't stream, would everybody be okay with me recording Dragon Age the Veilguard and just uploading on Thursday? Oh, okay, I was hoping it would flip. Never mind. If not, that's okay, we can always stream it, you know, when I'm not doing overtime or on a different day. But if I can't, you know, stream, would people be okay with me doing that? If not, you know, it's fine. It was just curiosity. I'm gonna need some long ones in a minute. This ain't good. I'm just gonna have to make do. Yeah, I think we fucked this up. That's fine. I'll just stick with this pet name for now. Be bothered to do the whole name. Yeah. So things have been pretty quiet for me. Oh great, nowhere to put the square. There hasn't really been much going on. I did see some drama happening here and there, but nothing noteworthy, nothing worth talking about, you know? I mean, I could, like, react to, like, drama and stupid shit, but it's kind of like, if that's all I end up talking about, I'd get bored. And there's just so much of it everywhere, like, sometimes when I'm on the internet, it kind of feels like back on the playground, because everyone has just been idiots. But it's kind of life, I guess. I was reminiscing the other day. I actually recorded a video. I haven't like uploaded or anything, so I don't know if I actually will. I was reminiscing the other day to myself about how I started writing for this one platform. I won't name names, so it's not an expose or anything. And just the amount of drama that was in that place. Although because of that drama, I made a lot of good friends. So thank you for the person who's bringing drama. I might like release that video and like upload it, but it wasn't all good reminiscing. Like, I don't want to really talk about it too much. So basically, one of my friends has passed away last year, and I was just kind of remembering all the good times that we used to have. Because we started on the same platform, me and a couple of others, and we went through a lot, like drama, fun, talking about different books and plots and things like that, and seeing some of our friends become really, like, I'm gonna say famous because they are on those platforms, but so I kind of went over that a lot. Had my emotional sob. But I don't know if I want to release it because it's like, I don't like trauma dumping on people. Like, I've kind of grown accustomed to keeping everything to myself and not really sharing it with people, whether that's like close people or not or what. kind of like learn to just handle stuff on my own. So it's kind of weird to sort of like recording something and just like actually coming out with feelings. This is why I don't drink as well. Because I become a rather emotional drink, and not a happy emotional drink. And that's not fun for anyone. And I remember everything, so it's just like, ooh, cringe. But yeah, so I haven't really been doing a lot, just reminiscing. Hopefully everyone else is done. Shit. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was doing then. But hopefully everyone else has had a better week for me. Like, it hasn't been a bad week, don't get me wrong, it's just been an emotional week. I've also, speaking of books, I've actually started making book covers for some of my books that I want to start working on soon. Obviously they're going to be in the adult romance genre because that's what sells. Why'd you have to give me 2 flipping squares? Of course. God damn you, squares. I really need a drink. Yeah, one's going to be a... I'm sure I want to go the other way, don't I? One's going to be a dragon shifter story. So, it's gonna hopefully have some fantasy in there. The other one... Well, the other couple are going to be back to the usual shifter romance stories, because that sells a lot better. But I'm hoping the dragon one gets approved, because I want to dedicate that one to my friend, the one that's not with us anymore. I've just been working on the outline for it, because these companies want the outline, and it's just like, ugh, I hate writing outlines. Like, if I could just write the story and upload it and say, here, this is my new book, what do you think? And they just go yes or no, I'd be happy with that. But no, I have to upload the outline of what I want my story to be about. And I hate writing outlines. I really do. It's just like, why would I want to write about what my book's about when I can just write what my book's about? Yeah. I really want to find a proper publisher, well, I say proper publisher, a traditional publisher that will accept fantasy, but as my different friend, but as my friend is finding out, it's actually really hard to find traditional publishers that actually want fantasy, because a lot of publishers want... Oh, don't fuck me up now. They want either what I'm writing now, which I can do, but if I'm gonna go traditional publisher, I don't want to be tied to doing the same fucking thing I'm already doing. Oh, I'm fucked. I somehow managed to survive for a little bit longer. So yeah, I don't want to. Wife. Yeah, there we go. How? Oh, how? I was good the other day, and now I'm absolutely shit. Sometimes that's just how Tetris goes. Oh, what am I? Come on, where's it? There it is. But yeah, so they either want the cringy romance stories, many of which are more like abuse stories than they are romance, but whatever. I don't quite that shit, but that's what they want. Or it's about victimhood, for lack of a better word, regardless of, you know, whether it's skin colour or gender or stuff. And while I'm fine writing LGBT stuff, my stories don't work along the whole, oh well, I'm gay, so I'm a victim thing. My characters just happen to be gay. If I'm writing those stories. It's less about victimhood and more about the adventure. So sometimes I have like really horrible characters that, you know, might hurt the person, but it's usually not because they're, you know, that identity. Because I get it, people want to be able to relate to something, that's fine, but I never really needed to be able to relate to someone in order to enjoy the book. Like, some of my favourite books, I could never relate to. Like, the main characters. Like, take The Last Unicorn, for example. Like, yeah, you can relate to some of the characters, like King Haggard for crashing and stuff. The unicorn herself is just like, well, she's just a badass. Like, I get it. It's an allegory for like lost youth and everything, but it mostly revolves around the other characters for that, less the unicorn. Somewhat the unicorn as well, but besides the point. Like, it's a subtle allegory. It's not. Well, it is. It's that subtle. How to put this? It's like you can take the allegory from it, and it'll, you know, you're like, yeah, that is what the book's about. But because it's not, oh well, this is a book about this. Like, it's subtle, which is all right. But when you market your book as only being about that, that's when it's sort of like, that's kind of when you lose me, I guess. Like, I read a book when I was younger that my mum gave to me. But she was reading it. But she loved all the books that had their basis in truth, I guess, I want to say, sort of like based on a real story. And this one was called A Child Called It. So it was basically about a abused child. Horrific book, like, and it was based on a true story. And I enjoyed it for what it was, because, you know, it was based on a true story. I understood, you know, why the author wanted to write it. He'd been through some shit. I think it was he anyway. So I understood why. And I did read all of it. But at the same time, it was just like, that isn't for me. Like, I understand why, and some people need that. But I've never found reading about personal trauma and you know, victimhood to be what I want from a book. I want an escapism, I want an adventure, I want fun. Yeah, you can have horrible things happen to your characters, no problem with that. I mean, I've actually been really nice to my characters. But the story doesn't revolve around those horrific things for me. And a lot of the time, people who write that into a story anyway, they don't know how to write it properly, because they've never been through it. And it's just like, well, I don't know. It's just not for me. I mean, I could write rows of things about what I've seen in the foster system, just from, you know, seeing all the shit that I did from all the kids we used to look after. However, I don't like, one, that isn't my story to tell anyway, because that belongs to the kids if they want to tell that story. But two, it just, I don't know, I don't find the appeal. But that's the sort of genre a lot of publishers want, is the trauma and the victimhood. And I don't want to write about that. Like, there's a plethora of books about that stuff. Many done by not even people who have that trauma, or that, you know, thing happened to them, and then it just comes across as very... oh, what's the word? I don't know, it just doesn't come across as genuine. Like, you can usually tell if someone has been through anything. Like, I'm gonna use this as the main example because it's one I've seen, like, in almost every book, especially romance, is the rape. Like, people write rape into their books, and then they act as if a person who did the raping, whether it's, you know, with the B or with something else, they... I'm going back to this. I panicked. They somehow decide that the person who did the raping is now the love interest, and I'm just like, but why would anyone, male, female, doesn't matter, why would anyone want to be in a relationship with someone who did that to them? Like, that isn't the love of your life. And they glorify it. They do, they glorify it. And it's just like, well, no. I get it's supposed to be dark romance, but that's not romantic. It is the least furthest from romantic you can possibly get. And I just don't see the appeal. Like, fight whatever you want, read whatever you want. I'm not saying you can't. But for me personally, I think it takes away seriousness of, you know, that thing. If you don't treat it properly. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with people who wrote that sort of stuff if they wrote it properly. You know, they wrote it as the traumatic experience it is. Because whether you're male or female doesn't matter, or non-binary or whatever. That sort of act done against you is not, oh, this person is really like me. Oh, I'm in love with them now. No, that doesn't happen unless, of course, you're experienced Stockholm Syndrome. I'd probably butcher the pronunciation of that, but whatever. Like, no, that's... no. But if they were to write it in a way that was clearly traumatic to their character, and it was clear that, you know, their character was not falling in love with this person and they wanted to get away from this person, and someone else, like, I don't know, you can have someone else save them if you want, you can have them save themselves, whatever, switch vote. The point is, when you have your main, it's usually the male romantic partner. Don't know why, but it usually is. When you have your male love interest and do that to a person, like, why are people romanticizing that? Why do you think this is romantic? Like, there's some very, very, very famous authors that do this. Can't remember her full name, but Pauline, I think her name is. I haven't read her books because, again, not my thing. But she does this a lot. Like, I think she edited one instance of her male lead badly touching her female lead in one of her books, and cut that bit out. From what I remember, I'm just like, why are people finding this, aka, romantic? This is the furthest thing from romantic. I don't understand. And she's popular? People actually like reading this? Like, whatever, okay. But it's not me. If I was gonna write dark romance, I'd not have the dark romance be about guy raping the female lead and then those two being happily ever after. That, no. Whatever. So yeah. This is the struggle though. Like, I'm happy to have, like, very conflicting stuff happen to my characters. But shit. But I don't want them to fall in love with their rapist, because that makes no fucking sense. And I hate that trope. Again, if you like that sort of stuff and you're into that sort of stuff and that's what you read, you do you, boo-boo. Don't care. Fuck. At least we got to level 9 this time. Like, I'm not gonna police how people enjoy their spare time. Like, even if I was gonna say, no, bad, don't do that, could I really stop anyone? Like, seriously, could I? Or anyone, like, even if I was, like, the most famous YouTuber, or Twitch streamer, or whatever, if I was, and I said don't do something, would that actually stop? No, it wouldn't. So yeah. I can't police people. But it's not my thing, I don't care for it, don't like it, think it's gross. I'm not some 16-year-old girl who doesn't know any better. I'm an adult, and I think it's gross, and I don't see the appeal. If I was gonna write a dark romance, though, I wouldn't have... What am I looking for? The K. Oh, comparison now. I wouldn't have the male lead be horrible to the female lead in terms of, doing things against her will. They would probably be enemies to start with, because I have a thing for enemies to lovers. That I like. As long as your male lead does not like. Oh fuck. No, whatever. Like, one of my characters in one of my I read exclusive books, he was an arsehole. Like, not a deliberate, I'm gonna, do what I want. Well, actually he was. But he didn't force himself onto the female lead. He was a selfish little bastard and wanted everything. Like, he wanted the girl's sister, because they ended up marrying for political reasons. But he also wanted his actual fated mate. Cringe, I know. So he was definitely not a good person. Like, you can do that without making them a rapist and romanticising them. Like, my character, main character, the female, she knew it was wrong. She couldn't do much about it because she didn't have the confidence. But eventually she did get the confidence to say, look, what you're doing is shit. I won't accept her anymore. Knock that shit off. It does take her a little bit long to get there because, you know, once you're a quiet, shy person and you hate confrontation, that doesn't just change just because you demand it to be changed. Like, my readers got a little bit annoyed at me for that. But I was just like, well, have you actually met a person who does not like conflict? Who grew up thinking that they were like the lesser child and stuff like that? Like, you can't just grow out of that shit straight away. You have to work to get there. And so I made my character work for it. But yeah, if I was going to go dark about, like, dark romance, there would be enemies to lovers. And then there would be other things that would make the romance dark. Maybe, like, the enemies. Maybe the main guy, like, tortures the seven enemies. And the main female just doesn't know or doesn't know and wants him to stop. You know, things like that. You can do a dark romance without resorting to rape. I feel that it cheapens it a lot to start with. They never write the trauma that comes from that. And they just play it off as, oh, well, he must actually love me because, you know, yeah, blah, 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 blah. It never makes any sense because, you know, they're trying to make sense of something that does not make sense. And it's just, well, no. Anyway, that's my little ramble. I tend to stick with more light-hearted romances. Like, that was the first book in which I had a not-so-nice male lead. Oh fuck. Oh well. We'll fix it. Most of my other male leads, like most of them, depending on what I want from the story, tend to be really silly, goofy, adorable guys. I have a type, okay? Those that are easily flustered. I don't know why. I love easily flustered guys. And those who are just a little bit on the dorky, nerdy side. Like... I love a good dorky nerd. But they're usually the types I write, because I just find them so much more fun. Like, they know how to have a little bit of a joke and a laugh. But they get serious when they need to be. If you've been watching the Storytime Saturday, you'll kind of understand what I mean by the lovable dork trope. Because Fenrir is a lovable dork. Like, he seems a little bit childish when you first get to know him, but he's serious when he needs to be serious. He's probably my dorkiest and goofiest though. Like, he deliberately acts that way though. You'll find out more why later. Oops, I needed to go the other way. Never mind. But yeah, those are the type of men I like to write about. Because then they can be a little bit dark, you know, if they need to be. But they also can be like loving and doting to their love interest. And I kind of prefer that. Like, you can have a dark character without making them, like, do horrible things to the main female. Like, people that do those things should be seen as the villain. I'm gonna die here. Not as the potential love interest. Like, what in the Andrew is this bullshit? I'm probably gonna get a load of hate for that when people actually watch the video and are fans of that person. I don't care. maybe I'll actually get popular. Nah. I doubt people like that would even watch my streams. I'm way too nerdy for them. Didn't even pass my high score. I suck. And I really want to try my hand at sci-fi at one point, or something different to the genres I normally write in. Because normally I write fantasy, even if you can't count. Thanks, Tetris. Even if you can't the werewolf romance, they're still technically fantasy. So I mostly focus on fantasy, whether it's fantasy romance or whatever. But I would love to try like sci-fi or something. I've tried to think of a plotline for it's urban? It's not urban fantasy because there's never any fantasy. So I know it's urban something, I can't remember what it is though, but urban. And it's usually, oh, this guy is treated horribly by his in-laws and then suddenly comes into a lot of money. That sort of trope. I don't know. Like, I've seen that trope used for romance a lot. They probably, the people who read this stuff probably won't admit to it though, because it is geared more towards men. But I've seen that trope so much in romance stories where female is treated poorly by everyone, and then all of a sudden is taken comes into a lot of money, or is from a lot of money, or is like the moon goddess or special or whatever you want to call her. And I don't think I could write, like, I could write that book in the romance genre only because it has fantasy elements. However, without those fantasy elements, I think the book would be too boring. Like, again, no hate to anyone that actually does enjoy the genre, and if you read and or write that stuff, power to you. I just find it boring. Like, do people really like that stuff? Like, oh, woe is me, I have no money and my wife is now leaving me for this person because he's rich. Or in the romance genre, oh no, pity me, I was born without a wolf, or I was born with a lowly wolf, just a meager. But look, I am now married to this person with a lot of money, or oh no, I actually have a lot of money. Like, I get it, tropes are tropes because, you know, everybody loves them, apparently. So, that's why they get written so much, but I don't know, I'm kind of bored of them. Like, I don't know. I see the same tropes in both male and female oriented books. And the platform I'm thinking of, they separated the male orientated and female orientated, although, oh crap, my battery's running low. Shit. Pause. I must have unplugged it somewhere. You know, don't tell me my power's low. Okay, is that charging? Yeah, okay, that's charging. God, my plug every now and then just, if it's not in the power plug properly, it decides it's not in there at all. Kind of annoying. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, the company kind of split them into male-orientated and female-orientated. Not that, you know, if you're male, you can't read romance. If you're female, you can't read, like, urban, fancy, sci-fi, whatever. Because actually, a lot of the writers in that do write male-orientated books are actually women. Fun fact. At least in this case. And it's just like, I don't know why they decided to make it two different apps. Like, it's the same company, two different apps. You can read books from one platform in the other platform. So it's not like they even separate the books from each other. It's just what's more likely to be recommended. Or so they said. I'm constantly seeing romance recommended in the non-romance app. So funny. But the tropes are pretty much the same, just slightly different. Like, the male-orientated books are not romance books, but the tropes are all the same. I mean, sometimes there's, I'm gonna say romance, sometimes there's like harem stories in there and isekai and stuff like that. So you still get all the same tropes. So I never really understood why they split it into two like that, because you're not really getting anything different. It's just, do you want books centered around romance or not? That's literally the only difference. Like, you're still going to have a little bit of romance in the male-orientated books. It's just not a, like, the book's plotline does not revolve around it. That's the only difference. Otherwise, all the tropes are exactly the same. So it makes no difference. Not really. Sometimes I love Tetris, sometimes I hate it. Anyway, I think I'm done talking about books for now. I only mentioned it because, you know, I'm kind of bored writing the same thing. But that's what's making the money, so it's just like, well, either I write the same thing over and over and over again and just change it up slightly and make money, or I don't, and I don't get a contract because they don't want stories I write. Like, even... I know I said I've finished talking about books, but I'm not. I still got more rants. Even if I were to focus on the male-orientated books, fantasy still doesn't just sell well. Like, period. Like, they want all the urban stuff. And urban without fantasy is boring as fuck. So I'd rather just stick with fucking... literal fucking. The werewolf fuckings. Because at least then I've got at least some elements of fantasy I can sneak in. Whereas with it just being urban, even though werewolf romance typically are urban romance with a dash of fantasy, yeah, I don't know why I would change to just urban just because it has... I don't know. I don't even think, sci-fi does well there. I can't say I've noticed any sci-fi. The books I see promoted most often are... Perfect. Urban, as I said. And... System? I'm not too familiar with System, so I know there's some... I'm gonna say fantasy, but it's not fantasy. Some elements there that isn't, like, real-world stuff. Like... Fantasy probably would fit there best, but not the fantasy I write. Like, it's a type of fantasy, but it's not fantasy. So it's just like, well... Yeah. I don't know. I could try and see if I could write a system book. But I don't feel like I know the genre well enough to write a book in that genre. I know there's a lot of different ones going. Like, I've seen a zombie system. I've seen... I think there was a werewolf system story going. Well, I haven't read them, but I just know they exist. What was the other system ones? Because there's a few I've seen advertised. Like, most of them seem to be sort of like, like, died and then kind of an isekai situation where main character dies and then suddenly has the system that makes them all powerful. Or they have to learn how to use the system, depending. So some they just become straight up powerful, and others they have to learn how to use this system. In most cases, the person dies in order to get this thing. Or sometimes they inherit it. It's a very varied route. I just don't really understand it all that much. But I could try my hand at it. You know, I'd have to read a couple of books or learn the tropes in those books first, though. But I don't know, it doesn't feel like something I would have fun writing. I mean, I might, but I don't know, it doesn't seem quite up my alley. Come on, we can do this. Oh, we made it to 12. Good. I doubt we'll get very far. Like I actually wanted that over there, but fine. Shit. Shit. Yep. It was going too fast for me. But at least we got a higher score. What we want. Did I go past it? Of course I did. So why wouldn't I go past it? You know what, we will spell our full name this time. Missed it. I missed the I, where's the O? There it is. Okay. Anyway, that's the video. I think we're going to call it here for today, because we managed to beat our high score, and we managed to get to level 12, which is good. Let's come over here so we can be big. Right, is that? Anyway, so hopefully you liked the video, and hopefully you also like my new N7 hoodie. It could do with a little bit of fixing here and there, but I was really proud of it. Oh, I made myself way too big. Never mind. You get to see my lovely, beautiful eyes. Yeah, so that's today's video. I know it wasn't really a long one, and I was mostly rambling because I've been trying to get back into writing. It's been a struggle. For reasons. It's just, I really want to write, but I just can't bring myself to write. Some people know why. I haven't really dumped that on people here yet. I might. But I don't really want to, like, trauma, well, it's not really a trauma dump, sadness dump, I guess, on people, because that's not really who I am. Like, as I said, I kind of handle things on my own. I am flying away. Stop flying away. Like, I know I'm a dragon. There's no reason I should be flying. I do like the 3D models. They're really nice. They're just very, very prone to flying away if I like reach over there to grab my drink. So if I start flying, it's because I've gone to grab my drink for a sip. Because I'm parched. Anyway, what was I saying? You can always tell when I'm, like, having a derpy moment and my brain has just stopped functioning because I'm like, wait, what was I talking about? Oh well. Yeah. So I hope you did like this video. I know, again, it's ranting, but you have to rant sometimes. I just wish, like, people wanted something different than werewolves for a change. Like, although it's not my passion, I don't mind writing romance. But I do wish people change their interests. Like, a lot of authors complain about the platforms wanting, like, pushing for this stuff. But it's mostly the readers that actually make the companies push for this stuff. Like, you have 1 or 2 readers that will complain and say, oh, I've read up all these werewolf stories, they're all the same. But the algorithm of... And I don't mean the algorithm and pushing books. That's obviously company side. But the reason they push the algorithm of werewolf romances in these platforms is because that's what readers are reading. Like, constantly. Yeah, you know, it probably doesn't help that the platforms constantly push these books. But whenever they push something else, people don't go for those books. So it's just like, well, the company isn't a charity. They've got to make money. That's the whole point of having a company, is to, you know, make money. So there's no point in pushing books that aren't going to sell. Yeah, you may get some readers, they may make some sales, but ultimately, if werewolf is what the readers are reading and spending money on, that is what's going to be pushed. like, if the readers decided, oh no, none of us are going to read werewolf stuff anymore because it's all the same, we're going to try something else. We're going to go for vampires because, you know, vampires are popular now. Then the companies would push more vampire books. It's just that's how it is. Oh man, I would love to write another vampire book. Maybe I should. I think I will. I don't know when, because I need to write these other books. Like, I've promised books to several of my editors, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll write it. And then I've made the book covers. I made the book covers, but do you think I've actually written the books? No, I have not. I have not written the books because I have issues. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. So I need to write these books, but at the same time, I'm just like, I can't. I don't know. Anyway, I'll stop rambling because otherwise this is going to me repeating myself like I've got mind issues. I mean I do, but not those mind issues, you know? Anyway, I'll see you all guys in the next one. I believe there is a stream this week, which should have already gone by the time this video comes up. But the following week, what date would it be? The 16th. Okay, so the 16th, no stream, because I am working. The following week, the 23rd, again, no stream because I am working. It's only for 2 weeks, so I think I don't know who, but someone must be on a 2-week holiday. They must book 2 weeks off. So I think that's why I'm working. So there'll be no stream on those Thursdays. I will try and stream a different day that week, but since I'm doing overtime, I don't know if that's going to be possible. But again, if you want me to still upload Dragon Age video, I can play it during the night, and just upload it for a Thursday. So I can still do that if that's what people would want. I might actually start doing that for some other days, I don't know. Because I feel like we're not really getting very far in Dragon Age, and I don't know. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Until then, though, I'll see you all in the next one. Hopefully we'll get back to normality after 2 weeks' time. But I'll still be releasing my other videos because, like this one, I can just record on either my day off or after work and then just schedule them, so not an issue to do that. So I'll still have videos coming out as normal. It will just be the streams which kind of get waylaid or not happen or whatever, because obviously can't stream if I'm working. I mean, I'd love to, but I think my management might have an issue with that. So probably best I don't try streaming while I'm working because, yeah, that would not go well for me. I'd probably end up fired, so let's not do that, as much as I would love to. But, yeah, so until next time, I'll see you all soon. Take care, my lovelies. Bye. Oh, where's my... Oh, there it is. I lost my Streamlabs. Anyway, I'll see you later.